Here's one of the latest interviews from Rock and Metal Revival. If you want to hear the whole show, go to rmrshow.com. From the CD Blood for Blood, there is brand new music from Hellyeah. The song's called Moth. And, man, Jerry, I was looking the other day, and they've been around almost 10 years already.
Wow.
And I can remember the first time I saw them on the Music as a Weapon tour.
Yeah.
They just killed it. And we are fortunate enough to have on the show with us today guitarist Tom Maxwell from Hellyeah. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Excellent. It's great to have you on the show. And
thanks for having me.
We are excited that you're going to be out on this big Metal Mayhem tour with Slayer and King Diamond. That sounds like that tour is going to be a hell-raising good time.
I certainly hope so. I think, that both bands that play after us, King Diamond and Slayer, are some of my favorite musicians and bands, just growing up and listening to over the years. So for me, it's kind of a dream come true to play with both those guys. I was a big Merciful Fate and King Diamond fan, over the years, and obviously Slayer kind of really shaped a lot of us out there in the metal world. So it's just an honor. I can't wait to get out there in front of those crowds and just destroy them.
Well, Tom, this will be my third time coming to see Hellyeah, and the first time, like I said, was on the Music as a Weapon tour. Then I saw you on Gigantic tour, and this one. Do you enjoy being on the big festivals more, or being out as your own headliner?
I enjoy them both, honestly. I think, you got pros and cons on both sides. A festival tour like this, you have a lot of comfort. There's good bus parking, you get killer catering, dressing rooms, showers, and a ton of people that you're touring with. It's looking out for each other and your friends and stuff like that. And then headlining is great too, because the crowd's there to see you and they're screaming back your words. And it might be smaller venues and places that we play, but it's just as big as far as energy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So they both kind of go hand in hand, big brother, little brother type of thing. But I really enjoy if I had to pick, I'd play fucking stadiums and arenas for the rest of my career.
Exactly.
So I saw the band's in the Netherlands right now. So what's up? Why are you here?
Yeah, they're kicking butt over in Europe as a four-piece. I busted my ankle on both sides, shattered both sides on the first show.
Ouch.
Coming back from the VIP tent, I was with Vinny and Ivan from Five Finger and a couple other friends, and heading on my way back to the bus, and I got picked up by one of those golf carts, that people transport people back and forth with, the bench in the back. And,
yeah.
I'm sitting on that, and it's bits and pieces that I remember after, because I was in shock immediately from watching my foot go fucking completely limp and not have any muscle control to it. But, I just remember feeling the golf cart kind of swerve, and I lost my balance and my seating and kind of got thrown off the back and landed, on my ankle with all my weight and whatever momentum that the golf cart was going, and shattered my ankle on both sides. I've got four screws on one side, and then on the other side I have 8 screws and a plate that's holding it all together, and I was hospitalized. I had to do emergency surgery. That, within 2 hours of it happening, I was being operated on.
Wow.
And I stayed in the hospital for 3 days in Munich, and then my manager had it arranged to get my ass out of there and back home in Baltimore. So it was pretty traumatic,
Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking freaked out, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
The band was freaked out. They had just begun the tour, so they had to keep going, and it was a wake up call of sorts. So I'm home and I'm doing better, and it's healing great and staying active. It's just
it's going to take a while.
Just keep constant watch on it and make sure I'm taking care of it so that I'm good to go for Mayhem.
Well, when do you plan to get back out on the road with the boys?
First show of Mayhem, I'll be meeting them on the 24th in Vegas. I'll still have my boot, and I have to wear this boot for 6 weeks. So the first week and a half of Mayhem, I'll probably be sitting down, at my on stage left where I play and getting through the gig that way. But I'm not missing any more tour dates, man.
Yeah,
I had
cool.
to on this one, obviously. But
I remember seeing Chris Holmes.
I'm not miss any more tour dates.
I remember seeing Chris Holmes from Wasp one time. He had broken his leg, and they brought out a stool, and he was sitting right there, stage left, sitting right there in the stool.
I have a little table set up with my water and a cigarette and a pedal board at my feet, and I'll just be fucking banging my head and sitting down and jamming my ass off.
So the boot, is it black? Because you could put some studs on it and shit, and no one will even notice.
It's actually crazy looking, man. No, like my doctor, my family doctor, and the specialist back here in the States have never seen something like this before. And that just goes to show German engineering is just awesome.
Yeah,
so
nice. He got the
this thing is
BMW.
indestructible. It's like an air cast, they call it, and I can actually take my foot out of it, so I can wash my feet and redress the wound and stuff. Whereas before, they put a cast on you, and fucked. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Try for the best, but it's cool, man. It's it's big and bulky, and it's I think the main thing I'm dealing with is just the discomfort and the swelling and trying to get around and do the simplest things, man. You just really take for granted.
Exactly. Hey, well, Tom, I was listening through Blood for Blood. I've had it since it came out, and it seems that you guys got a really totally different vibe on this album. I mean, I was always into the, your alcohol and ass and drink, drunk, and hell of a time, all those, party and Hellyeah songs. But you guys really took a different look at this album, didn't you?
Blood for Blood musically is pretty much me without having any dilution. You know what I mean? I was never a fan of the alcohol and ass stuff. I was never a fan of the drink, drunk, the hell of a time. I have nothing in common with fucking, excuse my expression, but I don't have anything in common with hillbilly anthems, man. I'm a hardcore kid from Baltimore that wants to see crowds explode and take the listener on emotional journeys. This record was an open gate for me to come in and finally make the record I wanted to make with Chad from the 10 years ago, 15 years ago when we first met.
Okay.
And, we had to clean house to do it. It's kind of, I don't want to sound, ungrateful for what we've done in the past, but I don't think, I'm only one guy, you know what I mean? And with so many strong personalities in the band, it was hard for me to voice my opinion, and see the vision that I had for what I wanted to do with this from the very beginning. Be, realized up until we did Blood for Blood, and then, all bets are off. So I'm like, okay, I don't have any obstacles in my way. It's just me, Chad, and Vinny right now. We had parted ways with Bob. We parted ways with Greg.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have anybody in front of me to fuck up my game.
Cool.
And so I was like, this is it. We're going all for nothing, man. And it was a very traumatic time. Keep in mind, we just parted ways with Greg, who Chad has been with for 17 years. Mm-hmm. So it was emotional for him. But I looked at it as always a blessing. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is going to be the record that we were supposed to make from the very beginning. This is exactly what I wanted to do. It's just a journey. It's heavy. It's dark. It's angry. It's hateful. It's loving. It's sympathetic. It's soothing. It's all of that. I refuse to be pigeonholed as a songwriter. I hate that. Yeah. That type of feeling and that's the way I felt with this band up until Blood for Blood. I felt that we were just being looked at as some, hee-haw party metal band, and it couldn't have been furthest from who I am as an individual. And I felt like I was selling out myself because of that. And so when I had, when we, doing songs like Blood for Blood, Cross the Bear, Moth, and Heart, the whole new album is exactly what we should have been doing. And I tell you, man, when we finished that record and we listened to it for the first time without having to actually, working on it, we all looked at each other and we were just blown out. Blown out. We were like, we did it.
Exactly.
I don't know how the rest of the world's going to view it, but you know what? If this is the last piece of music I ever wrote, I could die happy. I'm fine with it.
Nice.
And I think, that everybody else out there is really taking, a good hold on to it. Moth became a top 10. Hush is well on its way. And it's that, that song has got a long life left in it still before. I don't even know what the label plans on doing. We might do another single after this, or, we might just get right back in the studio and just start working on new records. So we'll see.
Well,
anyway, to go back, it's like I say, it's this record is the most, it's the catalyst of our career.
Well, I thought that they kind of pigeonholed you guys as a Southern metal band, and I really didn't see you that way.
I'm from Baltimore, dude.
Yeah.
What the hell do I know about Southern metal?
You're not flying the Confederate flag in Baltimore, no.
Well, you're going to find a Knife Fight and punk rock and Led Zeppelin.
Exactly.
There you go.
Well, you were talking about Hush, and now that song has a very special meaning. I saw you guys that song. Tell us a little bit about it. I mean, you can explain it better than I can.
Well, I tell you, man, it was a song that me and Kevin wrote in the studio. I went into the studio one day, and he was like, "What do you feel like doing? You feel like doing some you feel like doing tracking some more rhythm tracks? You feel like doing some solos and some stuff?" And I really wasn't in that mix. I was like, you know what, man, let's just write something. I have some idea, and I just started playing the initial chords to the verse with him, and then 2 to 3 days later, we had built the entire song, and Chad and Vinny never even heard it. We did it like under the radar, like without anybody else knowing it. We put it all together, and they came in. I was really nervous because the rest of the record is just so heavy, and this was it really is sonically and musically different. And Chad he loved it, and he was just like, man, I want to just give me some time with it. And he went in, and I think he wrote the most transparent, emotionally charged, true life vocals and lyrics that he's ever done in his entire life. I mean, he opened up a wound inside him and started writing about his childhood and the abuse that he took in a broken family environment. And when I heard it, we were just blown away. It was very emotional to hear him sing like that. He's never done anything so personal before. And it just so happens that it's about something that 9 out of 10 people can relate to in this world. I know I can, and domestic violence and child abuse is pretty rampant, not just here, but everywhere in the world. And I think he did these people and everybody, all of us who's gone through that, a service by just that one line. It says, just know that you're not alone. And that's pretty big.
That
I
is.
think it's a song that's bigger than all of us, actually.
Yeah.
All right, well, we are really fired up to see you when you come to Milwaukee on the Mayhem Tour, and
it's going to be all ballads,
right? Man.
Huh? Yeah, the ballroom. Yeah, it'll be hot in there.
Yeah.
Do you remember Gigantor Tour when it was about 140 degrees in there?
Oh, fuck.
So we're looking forward to it, and Tom, we appreciate you coming on Rock and Metal Revival. We're gonna end this with Hush. We're gonna crank this up. To catch the whole show of Rock and Metal Revival, all you have to do is check it out on these affiliates. Mega Rock Radio's on Saturdays from 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and on Uncontrolled Noise Tuesdays at 1 a.m., Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on UncontrolledNoise.com. And make sure that you leave them a message and tell them that you found Rock and Metal Revival on their stations. Enjoy this edition of Rock and Metal Revival.